Welcome back to What's New on the News, where we give you the old and outdated. Today's topic, a not so hotly debated topic, but a topic nonetheless. The people versus corporations, humanity versus capitalism. What is right to repair? What does it want, and how does the law affect it? These questions and more will be answered throughout our segment today. But first off, a simple explanation is in order. Right to repair is a movement that has been around for many years, but really gained notoriety during the COVID-19 pandemic. Their demands are simple. Propose legislation that requires corporations to produce manuals, parts and tools, and bypasses for software logs. This will enable consumers and independent repair shops to fix devices such as cell phones, tractors, and even hospital equipment. We'll be showing you a couple rounds of interviews throughout, and our reporters will relay to you the information they have learned in their study. All of this and more after we come back from commercial break. Hi, I'm Tim Apple, CEO of Apple, and I've been asked to respond to inquiries about right to repair legislation. In 2021, Apple, our company, my company that I'm CEO of, announced it would be loosening restrictions on our stance towards right to repair. Our company now allows consumers to purchase parts and tools, as well as repair guides. I know this may come as a surprise, but I want to assure you we did not do this because we wanted to. You see, as a business, our main priority is to make money, as much money as possible. And the truth is, if we offer you, as the consumer, the ability to repair all of your old devices, we won't be able to get you to spend thousands of dollars each year on a new cell phone. It's simple economics, really. I also want to make clear that we are by no means giving in to all the demands of right to repair advocates. You see, by laxing our repair policies and giving the consumers the illusion of choice, we're hoping that this will be enough to assuage your beliefs. Assuage? Who wrote this? I don't know how to say that. We're hoping this will get you guys to calm down and create a sort of cognitive dissonance. After pressure from consumers about our design choices and pressure from shareholders, these are the decisions that we have decided to make. Really, we're just trying to get ahead of any new legislation proposed and hope that by doing so, any new laws won't really make a difference. Or that they'll just get rid of them altogether. I mean, we're a business. First things first, we're a business, and we'll take your money any way we can get it. I'm Tim Apple. Thank you. Welcome back. Our story today is right to repair. In the field, we have Jeff Bridges with a personal interview from a man who has been directly affected by the inability to repair his broken electronics. Over to you, Jeff. Thank you, Bill. I'm here today with Mr. Boomhauer, who has a broken television, and with no easy ability to repair, he is forced to purchase a new one. Tell us a little bit about your problem, Mr. Boomhauer. Man, talk about a little story, man. Talk about waking up one morning, sitting on the couch and dang old click, nothing, man. Call that all broken, man. It's broken. Can you, God, please help me? Talk about no, man, don't do that. Dang old Google, man. Talk about try this, try that, try this, try that. That dang old don't work, man. Gotta find something, can't find it. A brand new one costs dang old $600, man. Ain't no pretty chunk of change, ain't no pretty chunk of lady, man. Talk about dang old. No, it's a brick, man, just sitting here. Dang old, I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, thank you for that heartfelt story, Mr. Boomhauer. Mr. Boomhauer is not the only one facing broken devices. In his case, the option to repair was not available at all. In other cases, it may be arguably worse. John Deere tractor owners, for example, are required to have all parts installed on their tractors authenticated by a certified dealership technician, and these technicians do not come cheap either. The dealership charges a flat rate fee of $230, plus an additional fee of $130 an hour for their technicians. Many dealerships also face a large backlog of work orders, and with their locations many miles from the areas that they're servicing, farmers can be waiting up to 2 weeks for their repair. By the time this happens, their crop may become unharvestable. Now to my good friend Daniel Day-Lewis with a report to hopefully shed light on the legislation at hand. Daniel?
Hello. I thought it'd be funny to do an impression of Daniel Day-Lewis. I have grown to regret this idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have a report here from the Federal Trade Commission that has been commented extensively on the topic of right to repair. The first issue at hand is the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act. It states in no simple terms, quote, prohibits warrantors from conditioning warranty coverage on the consumer's use of an article or service identified by brand, trade, or corporate name unless the warrantor provides that article or service without charge or the warrantor has received a waiver from the commission. In layman's terms, a company cannot void a warranty if repair is sought after by an independent repair party, or if a part is used that was manufactured by someone other than the original equipment manufacturer. In simpler terms, consumers do have the right to repair their own devices. Where the law falls flat, though, is consumer electronics. The MMWA, as they like to call it, was enacted in 1975 and has failed at keeping up with the times. Here is an example. iPhones use a digital software lock that pairs the physical parts of the phone, such as the screen, to the software of the device. Therefore, if you replace the screen of your iPhone, it would cause Face ID to disable. These software locks are also in play with John Deere tractors, much as my good friend Jeff Bridges was speaking of. This directly contributes to the problems. There are other laws at play here as well. Section 1201 of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act of 1998 was intended to prevent DVD piracy. As the years went on, though, the law effectively made bypassing software locks of any kind illegal. But oh yes, my dear friend, there is a but. But there was a coalition in 2020 that petitioned the U.S. Copyright Office and succeeded. It is now legal to break software locks for the purposes of diagnosis, maintenance, and repair on any software-enabled device that is primarily designed for use by consumers. Hooray! Whoop-de-doo! I drink your milkshake. There is a caveat. The overturning of this rule does not cover modification, does not address the distribution of the tools needed to repair these devices, and only specifies consumer devices. More on that when we return.
Hi, I'm William Doors, CEO and co-founder of MacroHard. Much like my good friend Tim Apple, our company has also decided to be more forgiving when it comes to repair restrictions. In 2021, we were pressured by our shareholders, namely a group named As You Sow, which is a non-profit investment group who threatens to pull their shares if their demands are not met. As You Sow has urged us to analyze the environmental and social benefits of making device repair easier. Since a mass shorting of our stock would not be a particularly good thing, we've decided to comply, somewhat. We're going to do our own study to see how increased access of parts and informations will contribute to climate change and electronic waste. Something like 6.9 million tons of electronic waste, which contains toxic chemicals such as lead, mercury, and cadmium. It'll also be beneficial to you as a consumer. It'll save you a lot of money, something like $40 billion annually on average for the nation. This is how we wrote this. This is what we want to say. No, I know we're being pressured to do it, but look, it's barely a drop in the bucket for me. So whatever. As long as we can do as little as we can without fully giving in. That's what we're gonna do. Am I done? Welcome back. We are continuing our report on right to repair. Daniel had to step away, unfortunately. Something about a boy and a milkshake. Something like that. I don't know. But man likes his milkshakes. Continuing on our topic, let's see. I'll fill in Daniel's report as best as I can. Let's see here. Important note that Daniel left out, many of the concerns that manufacturers have presented were noted to be unfounded and not based on any empirical evidence as noted by the Federal Trade Commission. One such example that the Federal Trade Commission cites in their report is safety risk proposed by thermal runaway in lithium-ion batteries. These issues come about because lithium-ion batteries are only labeled by their dimension. It's an 18650 cell. And they're not labeled by their chemical composition, such as AA or AAA batteries that we see in our household. Different chemical compositions, according to the FTC's report, can cause fire or explosions. Huh, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Let's see. The FTC proposes to begin labeling chemical compositions to dissuade this risk. Seems like a simple fix to me. Back to where Daniel left off, though, talking about modifications and consumer devices, how those are defined and what doesn't fall under the jurisdiction of this definition, such as hospital equipment. As it stands, hospitals are solely reliant on the manufacturer of their devices for repair. When COVID-19 hit, the shortcomings were highlighted, emphasizing the need for repair. An Italian hospital was faced with old and broken ventilators during COVID-19 and with a desperate need for repair relied on the community to 3D print replacement parts. This reliance was due to the fact that the manufacturer was either unable to complete repairs in a timely and affordable manner, or they did not offer repair options at all. In doing so, though, these people opened themselves up to patent liability. A hospital in Los Angeles faced much the same problems when they received broken ventilators from the manufacturers. What they did was they relied on a company called Bloom Energy, and they are a firm that makes fuel cell? Sorry, Daniel hand wrote this report, so I'm having a hard time reading it. Bloom Energy is a firm that makes fuel cell energy generators who completed the repairs in a matter of days. Without these people and these companies, COVID would have taken many more lives than it already did during the pandemic, and it shows the necessity of right to repair legislation. And that's the end of Daniel's report, and what is that? No, but there's nothing on the teleprompter. I don't know what that means. To play us out, what does that mean? No, but there's no words on it. How can I... What does that mean, to play us out? To end the show? But there's no word. Fine. And that's the end of Daniel's report, and I can't do it. There's nothing there. What am I supposed to say?
No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Do it live.
We'll do it live.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Fucking thing sucks.
Thing sucks.
Yeah.
We believe Bill had some sort of mental breakdown. Apologies for that. I'm Luffy the Cat, here to finish his report. According to the U.S. Public Interest Research Group, Americans spend around $1,480 a year on new electronics and own 24 different electronics on average. By allowing repair expenditure would reduce by 22%, an average of $330 per year, or $40 billion annually across the nation, effectively reducing the 6.9 million tons of electronic waste that is continually growing. These concerns, exacerbated by COVID-19, has led our news team to believe that new legislation is required for right to repair in order to reduce consumer expenditure and to help save the environment.
That's all for our show today. I'm Luffy the Cat. Thank you for watching.